The European Union's exports to Iran rises by 14% in the first half of 2008. The top Iranian diplomat says Tehran is continuing its cooperation with the International Atomic Energy Agency. And Hurricane Ike leaves a path of destruction across southwest Texas and parts of Louisiana. In the name of God, the compassionate, the merciful, hello and a very warm welcome to Jam Network News, coming to you live from Tehran. Stay with us. The European Union's exports to Iran rose by 14% in the first half of 2008. According to the Statistical Office of the European Communities, Eurostat, Iran's trade with the 27-nation bloc touched well over 2.2 billion euros during the 6-month period, up more than 800,000 euros compared to the previous year. Economic analysts argue that although major European companies have succumbed to U.S. pressures to cut their trade relations with Iran, medium and small businesses, which enjoy much greater immunity from the pressures, have boosted their transactions with Iran. Iranian President Ahmadinejad says he is to attend a General Assembly meeting in New York next week. The president told reporters Sunday many programs have been planned for his trip and that the visit will be followed by a lot of good news. He then touched upon the propaganda floods launched by the U.S. media over his upcoming trip, adding, "We will seize the opportunity and make the most of it." Iran's Foreign Minister Manouchehr Mottaki says the country is continuing its cooperation with the International Atomic Energy Agency, IAEA. He told reporters on Sunday the IAEA has removed the ambiguities put forward by some members of the 5+1 group. The top Iranian diplomat then said negotiations between Secretary of Iran's Supreme National Security Council Saeed Jabali and EU Foreign Policy Chief Javier Solana, as well as their deputies, are continuing in a positive and constructive atmosphere. Syria's Foreign Minister Walid Muallem says his country supports Iran's right to civilian nuclear technology. In an interview with Al Jazeera TV, Muallem reaffirmed the peaceful nature of Tehran's atomic work, adding Damascus is trying to help clear up the misunderstandings between Iran and the Group 5+1 over the issue. The top Syrian diplomat said his country, like Iran, also favors a Middle East free from weapons of mass destruction. Iraq is prepared to restart talks with Iran and the United States and is checking with both sides to see if a fresh round can be scheduled. Iraqi Foreign Minister Hushar Zebari further said Sunday that Iran has recently made some statements that it is willing to resume the talks, adding, "Now we will go back to the Americans to see if they are also ready." Iraq, Iran, and the United States held 3 rounds of talks last year on ways to restore security and stability to war-torn Iraq. However, a 4th set of ambassador-level talks has been repeatedly postponed by the parties involved. You're with JNN. Hurricane Ike has left a path of destruction across southwest Texas and parts of Louisiana. Officials say it will take a long time to recover from the monster storm.
Sounded like there was a train going through the parking lot. I mean, it was very, very loud, and then the eye came through and it got calm for about 30 minutes or so, and then it started again.
The full impact of Hurricane Ike is just starting to sink in. Search and rescue teams are working non-stop in the worst-hit areas, just getting access on roads piled with debris in a challenge. More than 40,000 people are still in shelters across the state, and officials can't say when they'll be able to go home. Officials also say Ike could rival the most expensive storms ever. A Russian jetliner crashed in western Russia early Sunday, killing all 88 people on board, including 21 foreigners. The Boeing 737 was en route from Moscow to the central city of Perm. The aircraft was on its approach to land amid low cloud over when it crashed into an unpopulated area of Perm, just a few hundred yards from residential buildings. Rescue teams on the scene have recovered the plane's flight data recorder. The cause of the crash is under investigation. The Palestinian Islamic Resistance Movement Hamas's political bureau chief Khaled Mashal says the U.S. and its allies have failed in the region. Addressing a host of ambassadors of Muslim countries in the Syrian capital of Damascus, Mashal said all those who had pinned their hopes on the White House have lost their dignity and are facing humiliation today. He then urged those who are still counting on the U.S. to play a role in the Middle East to turn to nations instead. He reiterated the Palestinian people won't renounce their right to return to their homeland and establish an independent Palestinian state with Beit al-Muqaddas as its capital. Mashal also called on Islamic nations to swing into action and end the Gaza blockade. And before we wrap up this edition of Java Jam Network News, let's check on the weather. The capital Tehran is having clear skies coupled with gentle breeze on Sunday. The temperature in the capital hit 91 degrees Fahrenheit in the warmest hours of the day. Stay tuned for the nationwide weather forecast, and goodbye.